Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. When I was a kid, I read poems from such great writers as Jack Prelutsky and Shel Silverstein. Growing up, I never actually heard of Dennis Lee or his collection of poems called Alligator Pie. I've actually taken a look at a few of his poems, and they do have a rhythmic and child-friendly feel to them. When it comes to adapting a collection of poems into a movie, that's where certain challenges may arise. The plot to this particular short film is very simple. A small boy named Nicholas tells his teacher and the rest of his class a story about going to the park with his grandfather and his next-door neighbor, Monica. In the story, he takes along with him his favorite stuffed toy named Egg, who's, appropriately, an egg. But then, a villainous character named Mr. Who-Buddy, who lives in the furnace of Nicholas's basement, comes out to snatch Egg away, as Nicholas and the others make their way to the park. It's up to Nicholas, Monica, and the rest of Nicholas's stuffed toys, which do come to life in the story, to try to get Egg back. As I've said before, there are certain challenges when it comes to adapting a collection of poems into a movie. For one thing, there's the challenge of creating a smooth, narrative flow. There's also the challenge of keeping the movie engaging and be given enough substance so as not to seem too short or too long. Most of the poems that are featured in this film are presented through puppetry and stop-motion animation. While the poems themselves are fine on their own, the way they're arranged and tied together causes the pacing to lag quite a bit, making the movie really take its time for the plot to get going, as Nicholas and the others make a couple of stops along their way to the park. There are even one or two little moments that don't seem to have too much of a point being there, other than to possibly help pad out the running time. On a positive note, the puppetry and the stop-motion animation are really nice, giving off that surreal but also quirky and amusing kind of feel, almost like watching an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse. With all of this in mind, it's kind of a mixed bag. It may not be quite as engaging for adults, but it is harmless for kids. Have yourself a slice of alligator pie and see what you think. If I were to rate this short film on a scale between 1 and 10, I'd give it a 5.5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.